Hello and welcome to another episode of Integration by Parts. Today we're going to be automating the Crystalized doll. And to do that, I accidentally took a screenshot. We're going to first need a way to make the energized flax seeds, which is I'm going to place down an energy cell. Here I have some power coming in and an energizing rod and the orb. And we can put in a flaxseed and it will turn into a crystallized flaxseed. And the way I'm gonna actually automate this is put down not this jar but the other one that has the, and not here actually, has the crystallized seeds. And I'm going to use some transporters, if I can find them, to automatically extract the crystallized seeds. This is locked and this will filter the item that will come in. And I'm also going to use an ender hopper. This is going to be actually useful a little bit later. But for now, I'm also going to put a fluid, not the collector, the placer, here. I need my wrench to rotate it this way. Do this again. I'm also gonna need a sensor. By the way, this sensor has a crystallized oil bucket in it, so it will emit a redstone signal when it detects a crystallized oil source block. And we also need a melter. Yeah, now I actually remember why I didn't put it there, because I also need power to the melter. So this needs to be altered a bit. This needs to be here, and this could be actually here, I guess. I'm pretty sure it outputs from the bottom as well. We can actually test that. And yeah, it does. So I'm gonna need an energy pipe, which doesn't actually output any power because it needs to be configured. And the melter should automatically export to the placer, which I can set it to pull the seed oil. And it doesn't actually need to be configured redstone wise, but the collector has to run only with the redstone signal. Okay, so slight change of plans. The dropper is gonna go here and the sensor is gonna go here. Now that I'm thinking about it, putting it below would be actually better because I'm really having trouble actually getting the redstone signal from the sensor. So I'm just gonna put it here. I can also rotate it. So this should output the redstone signal down below. You can even try that. Should have a bucket of crystallized oil in a tank. No. These are both empty. Where did I put my crystallized oil? Pretty sure I had some. Anyway, we can make some. We have the crystallized seeds. This is how you make it. Let's see. It does actually output the redstone signal, which is great. By this sensor, I tried to put a block directly looking at it, but it didn't work this way with a torch. It didn't power the block, which is kind of weird because vanilla redstone components can actually output to a block, and then you can take the redstone signal. And I've broken something, I think. Right? It should be like this way. No? How did I have... Ah, yeah, I had the repeater here. Which is here. Kinda was testing a few things before I started making this. Okay, so we also want this... let's get the bucket. Also want the collector to be outputting into a fluid tank. But I'm not gonna put it there, I'm gonna put it here. Because, actually, yeah, let's put it here. Because I also want to, in the future, also automate the empowered crystallized oil. Which, by the way, is kinda more difficult because you need this combination crafting core, which is not so easy to make. It needs mechanism stuff. It needs luminescence, which is refined obsidian dust, which is not super far away, but for now it's not actually possible. Yeah, I'm gonna put it up there for now, because I want to, in the future, attach an external storage on this dude, on the tank. So I'm gonna set it to push on the top, and if I melting chamber a bunch of these, which is not that fast, but it's fine, it should start producing seed oil, which I have somewhere, right? What did I do to my seed oil? Did I void it? Possible I did. I don't actually remember. And these will be picked up by the void, the ender hopper. And what I was thinking was, let's grab these transporters for now. I'm gonna automate ore processing differently. I'm gonna set it to export to the precise dropper, which I'm gonna set up with, I wanna say, so this delay I think is in ticks, right? So 20 should be a second. So I'm gonna do like 5 seconds, which should be 100 ticks. And I don't really know if these are redstone ticks or Minecraft ticks. If you don't know, by the way, Minecraft ticks are 20 per second and redstone ticks are 10 per second. You should keep that in mind when setting up repeaters and stuff. So it did actually place that, which is great. I'm also going to need some more power on this dude. So I'm gonna do underneath here. And offset should be 1, count should be 1. We only want to do 1 at a time, and no. You should go here. And some blocks might be looking kind of odd. I placed them like randomly. I'm gonna actually fix that later, because most of these blocks will be destroyed because I'm gonna automate more stuff. So don't really pay attention to those. Yes, we could fix something like this block. I'm gonna fix that later. For now, I'm trying to actually make this work. And we want to output a redstone signal to this dude to actually pick up the fluid when it changes. So the way we're going to do this is, can't I drop in? I need to break some blocks. And this should be fine. So we should route this redstone up there. And an optimal way to do this. Okay, so I had some redstone wire that I made from RF tools. redstone wire. Do I have them on me or something? Wire. Yeah, wire. These are pretty easy to make. Just a machine base, 2 redstone dusts. And these are really expensive to make. I wouldn't actually make them. I only made one and got the rest from the quest. So this should go up here, right? And it only goes in a straight line. But this should work technically, I think. Maybe not, because it's RF tools and I'm having some trouble with RF tools, to be honest with you. But we're going to see how it turns out. And I can actually convert this to crystallized though. Okay, yeah, I don't have any. And always on is what I'm gonna put it in. And this should drop actually an crystallized flaxseed in like a couple of seconds. And I picked it up, of course. Let's actually let it do it again so I can see it works. Yeah, I'm thinking the ender hopper does it too fast. It picks it up too fast. What if I do like 20? Like, no. If I do higher delay. Lower delay, actually. It gets picked up too fast. Yeah, that was my problem. That actually just happened because I picked it up myself. And I don't really know if you can activate these with redstone. Don't think you can. So that's a bit of an issue, because I was kinda relying on dropping the seeds in and picking them up back in case so they don't actually despawn. So that's a bit of an issue. So yeah, and it looks like, oh no, I don't have power running into it. So power, I can do this way, I guess. Wonder if this hammer works. It does work. Okay, that's pretty cool. And it did pick it up, so that's cool because it works. So the problem with this setup is that the precise dropper should only drop an item when there is seed oil here to be picked up, which is a bit of an issue, if I'm being honest. Tiny bit of an issue. I could do a second sensor, I guess. But the problem remains of how I get my redstone signal. Let's try to do with a second sensor. And this shouldn't be that expensive. And I need some sticks. I was also looking into some XNet. I don't really know if we're gonna need it or not. Thought we might need it. And we need, where is it? The sensor. Also needs a machine base, which is really easy to make. Just needs some moonstone, which is actually, it needs any kind of stone, but I'm kind of using moonstone for now because I've mined a bunch and put it in my refined storage system. And what I didn't actually mention is I made a 256k storage disk, so I don't have to worry about space for a long time. And the other reason I made this 256k one was because it needs just a 256K part and some quartz enriched in glass, whereas the 64K actually needs to be made in a lunar satellite dish control multi-block, which we do have, but it also needs a Dunk 4, which is really expensive with emeraldium and such. So I didn't want to bother. Okay, so let's go and try this out. Let's also put some more flax seeds in here. So we need a sensor like on this height and a bucket, and we need to fill it up with seed oil. And everything here is correct except this fluid. So my problem is, how do I get redstone out of this guy? Because if I put a block here and redstone, I don't think it will output anything. Yeah, it doesn't output anything, is my problem currently. And I don't think it's gonna connect to something like this either. Even if I broke these logs, planks, actually, I don't think it would connect. So how do I get redstone out of a vertical sensor is the real question here. Is there any other RF tools block that would help me with this? Counter, digit, sensor, sequencer, logic, timer, wire, receiver and transmitter. I think the receiver and transmitter are the only way that I can actually do this. And it kind of hurts because it's a lot of redstone. I don't really have a bunch of redstone, but it's the only way I can do this. So I also have a bunch of sensors actually here. I didn't actually know that. Anyway, so redstone, receiver and transmitter we need. We're gonna need some torches, 2 machine bases, a block of redstone, which if I throw some redstone should be automatically done, because I have the compacting drawer, and I'm missing some more torches. I really need autocrafting, but it's my next thing on my list. I guess this is considered autocrafting too. It's autocrafting the energized fluid, right? That's what it's called. Energized seed oil or something. Crystalized oil. Okay, so we're going to need, like, I don't really remember how you link this. Place down to create a channel, right click on the receiver transmitter. Okay, so if I place this down and right click, it should be fine. And we need the transmitter here. And the receiver will go here, right? Yeah. So this has to be routed differently. Yeah. And I'm not gonna need the ender hopper anymore. And I'm not gonna need the delay. I'm gonna just set it at 20, I guess. So I need to put this here, I guess. Will work. And it's pretty much automated right now. Only thing left is to automatically extract the flax seeds to the melting chamber and the energizing orb. And I might actually need a comparator to shut off the thing that feeds the seeds. Same way I have it here with a hopper. But I could actually just use refined storage for that, I think. So I'm gonna need an exporter. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use XNet because I want this to stop when this hits the limit. Actually, I think there's a downgrade upgrade for for storage drawers. By the way, I put the wireless crafting grid in a curio slot, and I'm using a hotkey, which is currently Control and the button for Ultiminer to open the crafting grid. So I'm gonna need like an exporter or something. There is an advanced exporter, okay. This is a construction core, thankfully. It's not the diamond one, because I don't have one. I don't have the energized diamantium it needs. There's also the monster ball, which captures mobs, which I didn't know was in the pack. But they added a quest for it, so now I know. And storage buffer is where the quest is, and I also need an importer, which I'm not gonna make right now. Don't really need it. I can set it to exporter to the melting chamber, and I don't really know if I want to add another drawer here for the normal seeds. I guess I'm gonna see. This is for the future, for the energized, empowered, crystallized, empowered flax seeds. I don't really know. Empowered oil, anyway. Complicated names. Why do they have to do it to me? So, let's see. The storage drawers. There's the redstone upgrade. And there is a downgrade upgrade, I think. The downgrade reduces base storage to single stack, which is pretty useful for me. It's actually what I want, and I need another flint. So that the refined storage can only export one stack. Also need a regular drawer. No, these are trims. Okay. Oak. Don't worry about my wood situation. I made the tree seeds, I think they're called. Wood seeds, probably. Yeah. And it makes wood essence, which is a bunch of wood. Of any type, really. Any vanilla type, at least. Now I do have to spam the bed because the spawner is spawning blazes. And it doesn't allow me to sleep. But I don't think I'm gonna have to make the redstone upgrade for the drawers. And I didn't actually make the drawers, did I? The drawer that I needed. Or I made it and I left it in here. I didn't actually make the drawer, which is really good on my part. By the way, you didn't know, if you have the key in your offhand and you place a drawer, it will be placed locked. And I also do with the quantify key to show how many are in there. And storage downgrade. You can only hold the stack. I think I'm gonna put it here. Or like one above, because I'll probably use transporters for this one too. Even if I don't really have any other transporters, so I'm gonna just use an item pipe from pipes. Also made some ultimate pipe upgrades, which actually don't need netherite in this packet. They need hepatizon, which is, I think, yeah, cobalt, quartz, and copper, which is cheaper than it normally is. But it also needs empowered oil and the previous upgrade in a carpenter, which is niotic with improved, blazing with basic, and industrial grade with redstonium. And by the way, for the lower tier, it needs crystallized oil, not empowered oil. So make sure you don't make that mistake. And I'm also gonna need some cables from refined storage. I also only have 2 of them. Make like a bunch more. It's not like we don't have quartz and enriched iron. And I should have refined storage over here. Where's the closest refined storage point? I don't really know why this is filled all the way through with all this granite. Interesting. So where's my refined storage? I guess I do have refined storage over here. So it's here in the middle. Actually break. Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna put back in the lamp. I'm gonna break this block. And we need straight on, we need refined storage. Also gonna need refined storage for the thermal machines. And we're also gonna need refined storage there later, but that's for another day. Okay, so we have refined storage here now. Let's place back down this block. Also, this block here. It wasn't this block. It was this block. No, actually it was this block. This is another block. This design is cool, but I've kinda ruined it by now. Okay, so I can't exactly pipe from here. So I'm gonna break this. I'm gonna also have creative flight, so it's a lot easier. And I put 1 extra cable I don't need. Give me some dirt. Let's fill back up the hole that we made. And should look alright. I'm also gonna put some covers I think I can make with iron nuggets. Try to take some iron nuggets. Like this, I believe you make the cover. No, like this. Cover for refined storage cables. And it's the wrong block. But we're gonna use these. Don't worry about it. I really need the creative upgrade, but I need to slay another 3 withers, I think. Which I can do if I go farm for some wither skeleton skulls. Also don't really want to use my elytra for that, but whatever. And you see, it's just covered like that. So it looks all pretty and such. And man, and it broke my other cover. That's great. Don't really know if I can cover this pipe thing. No. Don't want to break this, man. Anyway, that should be good enough. And I can even cover this one too. If I really quickly make another one. And this flugel tiara is a bit too fast, I believe. Can't cover this? No, we can. And the exporter is gonna export these seeds. Flax seeds. Ignore items exact mode on. Should be exporting these seeds. They should be going here. And this eventually will fill up. And it first needs to fill up the first slot, and I think then it will move over to the second slot. And we can even change this to a magma crucible later on, if we really want to. Can cover up a bit these blocks, make it look a little bit prettier. And why are you okay? Yeah, it placed down the seed oil. Okay, so when this fills up, this will fill up, so this will fill up, and this will fill up, and this will fill up, and it will stop actually sending in the seeds. But I think we might actually run out of seeds by then. And my problem with that is that I don't really know how it handles the priority here. And if I'm gonna run out of seeds, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. So there is one more thing I want to do this episode, but before that, let me tell you something. I was really considering making another one of these to feed my empowered oil production, but because it's gonna be buffered, I'm only gonna keep 32 buckets on hand of each. I'm thinking I'm just gonna pull out crystallized oil from here. It sounds like the way I'm gonna do it. And for the energizing orb, I'm gonna have to do some comparator nonsense. And you see, it has taken all my seeds out. That's probably gonna hurt a little bit. I could also manually farm this for a while till it reaches the buffer. And this can't go if there is this on top. Which is why I don't really like this plant in particular. But you know, let's also take out the dirt. The sludge I don't really know what to do with. Don't really care about it. Doesn't have many uses. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is make a immersive engineering bottler. And the mixer is gonna be the next episode. So to make the bottler, we're going to need a couple of things. We can actually look them up in the quest line. I think it's Capsule Corp. No, it's Automation Station. No, yeah. The bottler. I need a redstone engineering block, 3 steel scaffolding, and 2 iron sheet metal. Iron sheet metal, we have 2 of them. We need redstone engineering block, which we do have one. We need steel scaffolding, which we do have 3 of these we need. We also need a fluid pump, 3 conveyors, and 2 light engineering blocks. Fluid pump. We do have one of these. Conveyor. 3, and the light engineering blocks, which we do have these 2. I didn't actually think I'd have everything I need. Does it give us anything? Yeah, it does give us some stuff. This is pretty cool. And this is gonna allow us to make the speed gears later on. with energized speed potion and invert gears. And yeah, it's an eclipse, not night time, so that's kind of confusing sometimes. I'm missing a fluid pump. I don't think I am missing a fluid pump. Frankly, I don't think I am. Anyway, we can make this by hand, it's not that big of a contraption. I'm just gonna need the help of my trusty engineer's manual for the bottling machine. Or it might be, I'm not using the wrong blueprint, right? No. It's fine, I'm gonna actually make it by hand. So I need it. Okay. So it's okay, I think I can do this. 1, 2, 3. The 2 sheet metal. And what else? The redstone goes here. The light goes there. Okay, so it's too light. It's conveyors are gonna go here, I think. 3 conveyors, right? Yeah, and the pump, okay. Easy enough to make. And we also right click with the engineer's hammer. This doesn't look to have a UI, so it's purely automated with hoppers and stuff. So you drop stuff in and it goes to the conveyor. Of course, the wrench doesn't have any recipes here, and it can't pick it up. I need to break this thing apparently. So be careful what you drop in there. And I think, yeah, it draws power from here, and this should be input sides, and I don't really think it matters which one is which for fluids and items. And as you can see, this has almost filled up. This has filled up, and eventually this will fill up. So this has been the episode for today. If you guys liked it, please drop a like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, please let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you next time.